What's up, guys? My name is Marsh, and welcome to episode 1 of my new series where I'm going to be starting this world in Minecraft Alpha, and I'm going to be progressing it all the way to the current update of the game. So I plan to take my time with all the updates and make sure I get through all the content and finish all the builds that I want before I move to the next update. And most likely we'll just be skipping some of the smaller updates that didn't really add new content or anything. So this is going to be a long-term world, and I plan to keep it going even after I reach the current update, which is currently in 1.21, but it probably will be a few updates after that at that point. So we're going to start out in Alpha 1.0.4. I did a little bit of research online, and this seemed to be a good starting point for us, and it gave us enough content to have some decent goals to start out with. And yeah, this is going to be very nostalgic for me. I started playing this game back in beta, so a lot of this stuff looks very familiar. It's really a blast from the past, and I'm excited to get into it. So I'll try to release episodes as frequently as possible, maybe weekly or so. But anyways, let's get into it. I'm losing a little bit of daylight here, so I'd like to get started. First, before I started recording, I marked off my original world spawn point, which was right here at the bottom of these stairs. So since we don't have coordinates yet in this version of the game, that's one thing I would like to save the location of. So we can come back there later on and maybe build a little something at the world spawn there. But I just wanted to mark that down for now. But let's start getting wood and some other supplies before it gets dark out. Because from what I remember, the night times can be very dangerous in this game. Back in this version. So we want to play it safe. We're going to go ahead and make ourselves some tools real quick. I think we're going to jump right to stone tools. We won't waste any time with that. And we'd really like to get some coal before the first night as well, so we can light up our little starter home that we plan to build. So yeah, let's go around looking for some coal. So the only animals available to us currently are sheep and pigs. So we're going to have to make good use of those, because those would be very, very valuable resources for us. An interesting thing about this version is to get wool from sheep, there's no shears yet, so you just hit them and they drop all their wool. So essentially you have free shears, which is quite nice. And there's also no sprinting in this game yet. I think that came in beta at some point, so yeah, that causes some problems on its own. Before we continue our search for coal, we're going to grab some cobblestone to make some stone tools. And then we can start collecting some food from the pigs. That'll probably be our main source of food, is their pork chops. And we'll just keep collecting wool from the sheep. Another interesting thing about this version of the game is there's no beds yet, so you can't sleep through the night. But wool actually can make leather armor, oddly enough. So that's what we will be using a lot of our wool for early on here. And we'll also be doing a lot of building with that, because like I was saying earlier, a lot of the building blocks are limited in this game, in this version of the game. So yeah, we'll take advantage of everything we can. Wool will be a nice block to build with for floors and carpets and everything like that. So a lot of the inventory shortcuts don't work in this game. Like you can't just drag across and fill everything in. So that's going to be pretty annoying. I think we don't get that for quite a few updates. So we're just going to be clicking each block in the crafting for quite a little bit, but that's all right. The one shortcut that we do get though is right clicking to cut it in half. So at least that's helpful for us. Okay, we've made ourselves a couple sets of the tools that we're going to need here, but I'm sure we're losing some daylight already. So let's kill a couple of these pigs here, and then we'll continue our search for some coal. Hopefully we can find that before sun goes down. It's hard to tell when the sun is setting in this also. It kind of just, the darkness just sneaks up on you. So yeah, we'll have to be quick. Since we don't have coordinates, I really don't want to venture too far from this area, because we might never find it again if we do. So I'm going to try and stay in this general vicinity so we can keep our world spawn point and kind of stay around that area. We also don't have a hunger bar. I think that comes a little bit later once we get to the beta. So food just straight up restores our hearts. So we won't need to use any food until we get to that point where we're taking some damage. So that's part of the reason I'd really like to find a safe shelter for the night. And I'm also kind of surprised they have mushrooms this early in the game. So I wonder if we can make mushroom stew out of that. And I think I hear a zombie. So maybe we can find some coal this way. Oh my gosh, is that a spawner? I see some cobblestone. I think that's a zombie spawner. Oh my gosh, we need to keep the location of this. We're not going to be able to head into that right now without torches, but let's go find some coal, and we need to remember this location. So that is very rare to find that close to the surface like that. So we can maybe find some good loot in there and maybe make a zombie farm at some point, because in this version, zombies drop feathers. So I'm not sure if that'll be too great for us, but we can at least make some arrows with that. I think a skeleton farm would have been a little bit better, but yeah, we'll see what we can do with it. And look over here, we found some coal. So that'll give us our torches for the night. And it'll also allow us to investigate that spawner a little bit closer. So let's go ahead and make some torches. And I think we'll stay in this general area as well, because I think I'll put my little starter cave right here into this mountain. Usually always when I start off a world, my first house is just a little hole in the wall. Nothing fancy. Just enough to store your items and have a furnace and everything and just keep you safe from the mobs. Oh, this is a huge coal vein. That's great to find this early on. We're going to be set for the first couple of nights here. And this will also help us smelt up some iron once we can get our hands on some of that. And it's starting to get dark, so I think it's time to make our little starter cave here. We'll go right on the side of the mountain like this. And yeah, torches do not seem to work too well in this version, I'm noticing. So we're going to need quite a few of those. But okay, let's dig a little starting area, and we can always expand it from that, but I just need a place to set down a crafting table and make ourselves a door. We don't want any creepers finding their way in here. That would be very bad. Okay, we're going to need a little bit more wood for a door. There we go. Oh, and you only get one door when you do the crafting in this. In the current version, I believe you get 3. That's interesting. Yeah, this is almost like playing a brand new game. There's so many different mechanics. It's going to be real fun relearning everything. So here's our little humble starter abode. It's not much, but it's honest work. We have a chest here, we have some furnaces, and a crafting table. That's pretty much all we need right now. And like I said, we can't sleep through the night. That doesn't come until early beta, I believe, for a couple versions from now. So we're going to have to find a way to kill some time during the night. Maybe start a little strip mine down here, and eventually work our way to some iron and diamonds. I think it'll be a good way to pass the time. We'll just keep working on this little area till it's daylight again. Collect some more resources then. But yeah, for now, we'll just keep working on the house. And before we progress to the next update, that's going to be one of my goals, is to build an actual proper starter base above ground and everything. This is just kind of to get us started for the first couple of nights while we collect resources and everything. But once we get on our feet, we're going to be building a real proper starter base. We found another big coal vein while we were digging out our strip mine. So we're going to take all this out right now. We got a really good start on coal right now. Now we just need to find some iron and maybe some diamonds eventually. But it looks like the sun is starting to come up, so got a little head start on our strip mine, but we're going to head back up. outside and collect more materials now. So my main goals for this first episode are really just to get a starter house going where we can store some supplies and have a crafting station set up, which we've got done. And other than that, I just want to collect some materials and give us a base supply of certain things like coal, start collecting some iron, things like that, different building blocks. And I'd also like to do a cave this episode. I'd like to experience the alpha caves because I know the generation is a lot different back then, and that should be a lot of fun. So yeah, we're definitely going to do a cave this episode and hopefully find some diamonds while doing that. Alpha gravel is a pretty ugly block, a lot of people think, but honestly I think we're going to be using a lot of it for building farms and paths and stuff like that, because I really do think it has a purpose for those type of things. It's not the prettiest block, but we don't have much to work with, so we'll definitely be using quite a bit of it for pathways and farms and stuff like that. Yeah, we're just going to keep hitting sheep here. I want to make sure we get full leather armor before we go into the dungeon, or the cave, sorry. Because skeletons are really dangerous in this version of the game. I was doing a little play testing, and you can't sprint, so it's really hard to dodge their arrows. So I want to make sure we have a little bit of armor at least and some food before we head into the cave. So yeah, we're just gonna, we should have enough actually for the leather armor now. So we'll go ahead and make that. We'll get a little bit more food and then we'll investigate a cave. This was our first wooden pickaxe we made in the world, so I'd like to keep this safe somewhere. We're gonna just store it here for now so we know where it is. But yeah, I'd like to maybe eventually put that in an item frame later on once we update to that update, but that won't be some time from now, so we have to keep this safe for a little while. We'll keep that right there. The food is not stackable in this version as well. That makes it a lot harder to smelt up and cook and everything, and it takes up a lot of your inventory space. But like I said, food is going to be very helpful for us because it's the only way to restore hearts. There's no hunger, so you just need food every time you lose health, which we probably will be doing a lot of when we run into some skeletons, especially without sprinting. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to go ahead and make our full leather armor set. Here we go. There it is. So that should give us some good protection, hopefully until we can get our first set of iron armor in the cave. This is definitely a less than ideal amount of food to head into a cave with. But I want to go investigate that dungeon, that spawner that we found a few minutes ago. And maybe that goes deeper into the cave once we go past that. So yeah, let's go over there and see what's going on that way. Here we go. I think the dungeon was right in here. Yep. Let's quickly light this up before we get jumped by the zombies. This is probably overkill on the torches, but I want to make sure we fully block it off because I know torches do not do much in alpha. So let's see what we get in the chest. Oh my gosh, is that a saddle? I didn't even know saddles were in this version yet. Wow, that's really nice to get. I don't know if we can do much with it. Besides maybe put it on a pig. But there's no carrot on a stick. So, I don't know. That's cool to have anyway. I'm glad we found that. Oh my gosh, 2 more. And some buckets. Those buckets will be very handy for us. So, okay, I guess those are pretty good drops for us. We'll take those chests. We can definitely use that for our little base, but okay, not bad. And one more thing is this mossy cobblestone. This is the only way to get mossy cobble in the game, and these are pretty rare, so we might as well take all this while we're here. We can do some cool builds with that, as that's quite a rare block. So yeah, it's nice for giving builds a rustic look, and that'll be very handy for us to have. We should get around 40 pieces of it for mining up this whole area. We'll see. But yeah, that's some pretty good loot for us to have. We can come back here later on as well if we decide we want to farm some feathers. Because, yeah, I think zombies drop feathers until... I forget when they start dropping rotten flesh. But that's not for quite a little while. So for the time being, we'll just get feathers from them here. 45 mossy cobble. I'm really happy to have gotten that and a couple saddles, even though I'm not too sure what we can do with that yet. And here we found our first couple pieces of iron, which is very nice. We can turn that into a pickaxe, or that can start going towards our first armor set. What was that? Oh my gosh, that scared me. The ambient noises are terrifying here, especially when you're in a cave. Makes me think Herobrine is about to jump out of the screen or something. So I talked a little bit about my goals for this episode, but let's talk a little bit about our goals for Alpha 1.0.4. So one thing I'd like to do is create a wheat farm, because that is one of the only farms we can make at this version of the game, so that's definitely going to be a valuable source of food for us. I want to do something with minecarts and do a little minecart rail system, maybe going down to our mine, or maybe just like a little roller coaster or something cool like that. I want to make a strip mine and do some caving, and I'd like to get full diamond tools and armor from that at some point. I'd also like to complete our, not our starter base, but our first proper base, which we'll probably get done in one of the next couple episodes here. I'd also like to put a chest room in that base that has all of the alpha items and a chest for all the items so we can keep things organized, and possibly that's something we can expand on in later versions of the game. We can keep adding to the same room and adding the new items as they come in. So that would be something cool that we could do. Also, I want to get all the paintings down. Paintings were recently added, and I want to make sure we get all of those, and that can be another thing we continue adding to as they add more of them into the game. And also we'll see if we can do something with redstone. I know there's not a whole lot with redstone at this version yet, but maybe we'll see if we can do a little something. But yeah, I think those are our main goals for Alpha 1.0.4. If I think of anything else, I'll add it in, but that's what I can think of for now. And unfortunately, we won't be able to make a sheep or pig farm yet because animal breeding has not yet been introduced. So yeah, that'll have to come in one of the next updates. I'm not sure exactly when that was introduced, but we'll find out. So this cave is going pretty deep so far. We've got ourselves 14 iron and a nice bit of coal as well. I haven't seen too many mobs yet, so I wanted to check our difficulty, but we are on hard mode. So I'm sure we're going to be running into some any second now. I really like the alpha cave generation for some reason. I know it was a lot more simplistic compared to the caves and cliffs version of caving, but I don't know, there's something about it. I just like it, like the tight, compact corridors, and yeah, it's just quite nice actually. Okay, I think that was it for that cave. I don't think it goes any deeper, but we're definitely going to do another cave because that one didn't go too far. We didn't find any diamonds, and we didn't run into any skeletons or anything. So I'd like for us to face a bit of a challenge here. So we're going to try and find a cave that goes a little bit deeper, and maybe we can fight some mobs and hopefully find some diamonds or something even. Okay, we have a pretty fruitful inventory now after that little mining trip. So we're going to head back to our little base, drop some stuff off, and we're going to head out and find another cave then. So I think part of the reason that we didn't see any mobs down there is because it was nighttime and all the mobs were spawned on the surface. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Oh my gosh, we got a spider on us now. Let's take care of him real quick. We can spam click, so we have to remember that. But yeah, I think all the mobs were on the surface because it was nighttime, and that's why none were spawning in the cave. So yeah, some of the mechanics in this version are still not functioning 100%. So yeah, that's I think why we didn't see any mobs there. And there's the classic oof noise when you take damage, and I wish they never took that out of the game. That was one of my favorite features. I think that was so funny and adds a lot of character to the game. So yeah, I wish they would have kept that in. Even when I play some of the current versions, sometimes there's a mod that you can use that adds it back. So that's something I do sometimes. It's a lot of fun. But alright, we're back at the base now. Let's drop our stuff off and see if we can find ourselves another cave. Oh yeah, this is what I was curious about. So you can't stack chests on top of each other. So we're going to have to make another little area over here to put our second chest. So yeah, that doesn't get added till a certain point. I guess that's because the chests are these take up the full block. In the current versions, they don't cover the full block. So I think that has something to do with that. And we can't even put them next to each other. So something like that will work for us though. While we're here, we'll smelt up our iron so we can get a little bit better armor before we go to our next cave. And I think we'll bring these buckets with us as well. Maybe bring some lava back if we find some down there. There's a brown mushroom, so we have both types of mushrooms now. Later on we can experiment with that and see if we can make any food out of it. Or maybe farm them possibly. We'll see what we can do with that. I love the old door sound too. Yeah, this is so nostalgic. I love a lot of the old aspects of the game. It's really nice. So I feel like we should make this iron pickaxe because in case we find any diamonds, we're definitely going to want to be able to mine those up. So yeah, let's keep that on us. And why not? We'll make a second one right now, actually. We're definitely going to go through it pretty early on. And we can always find more iron pretty easily. So yeah, okay, we have 2 iron picks. I think we're ready to go now. So I won't venture out too far because I don't want to get lost, most importantly. And also because I don't want to generate too much of the world while we're still in alpha in these early versions here. Because it's all going to be similar biomes and everything. So we kind of want to wait until we get to the later versions to start generating a lot more land. But we're not going to let it limit our gameplay. Like, we'll still explore a decent amount of chunks around spawn here. But yeah, something we want to be mindful of though. Now, one of my favorite things about Alpha Minecraft is this lime green grass. I think it makes the world look so much more bright, colorful, and fun. So I really miss this color grass. And I've even used texture packs at times that bring this back. Because, yeah, I really like it. It just brightens up the world a lot. I seem to find a lot of these where it like tries to generate a cave, but it just goes nowhere, basically. It's just like a little surface cave. I see quite a bit of that. Over here, though, looks like we have a decent sized cave. Let's check this out. I think this is what we're looking for. We should have enough food, and we have some raw food that we got. We can always heat that up if need be. We have a lot of coal already, so I'm going to save this for the way back up. We're going to try and go as deep as possible in this cave. See if we can get to diamond level. But if we see some iron, we're definitely going to take that. Like right here. I'd also like to get some redstone while we're down here as well. Because, oh my gosh, those ambient noises are scary. That is creeping me out. Man, alpha caves are really creepy, man. But yeah, like I was saying, we can't really do too much with redstone, but I definitely would like to collect some. And maybe we could do something with it to start out in alpha, at least a little contraption, like something to open a door. Because, yeah, there's really not too much you can do with it now, but we'll think of something. So I'll try to gather some of that while we're down here as well. And we can build something with that one of the next couple episodes before we move on to the next update. Oh, we found our first creeper down here. We're going to have to be really careful. Oh my gosh, where'd he go? We almost had him. And I'd really like to get his gunpowder. Oh, we got him. Don't think he dropped any gunpowder though, unfortunately. But that's okay. I'm sure we'll find more of those. But I'm glad we took out our first creeper without incident. What I'm really worried about is the skeletons. So we'll see how that goes once we encounter one of them. Oh, I hear a skeleton somewhere. I'm really terrified of them, but I want to see if we can take them on. I think we can do it. Okay, there he is over there. Oh my gosh. Okay, that wasn't too bad. So the key is moving left and right a little bit, but it's really hard to do when you don't have sprint, and also when you're in these confined spaces of these alpha caves, so they can be a real problem. We only lost a couple hearts there, thankfully, but we do really need to be careful because we have a limited amount of food. Because food is not stackable, so we only have a few pieces to come down here with. So we really need to be careful about losing hearts to skeletons and creeper explosions and falling while we're down here. I think we have a spider down here. Yeah, we're starting to see a lot more mobs now that it's daytime out there. The caves are flooded with mobs. Uh-oh, we got a creeper on us. This is a bad position to be fighting a creeper. So good thing. I believe that spider should be blocked off for the moment. And we're going to see if we can take care of this creeper. There we go. Got some gunpowder off him too. That's awesome. Oh boy, we have 2 mobs coming at us now. We have to be really careful. Let's try and play it a little bit slow. Let's eat a piece of food, make sure we're full. Oh, I thought that creeper was going to blow up there. Okay, we're handling the creepers pretty well. Let's see about the spiders. There we go. Oh. Okay, we got hit, but no harm, no foul there. Only 1 heart. Oh no, we just lost our sword. Do axes do bonus damage? It's okay, we got a sword. Okay. Jeez, that was a lot of mobs coming from this way. And we have another creeper. We need to light this area up a little bit more. Okay, so it seems it's 4 hits with our sword. We'll take the creepers out. So that's an important number for us to remember. Okay, I really hope this section of the cave keeps going down, because we've gone down quite a bit, so we might start seeing redstone and possibly diamonds soon. We've got a ton of iron so far just from heading down this cave. That should be enough for the full set. We'll just wait till our leather armor loses a little bit more of its durability before we switch over to using the iron armor. I hear some mobs. Oh, there's some gold. I forgot about gold. And there's not too much that we can do with gold. We can make gold tools, but they're notoriously not very good in this game. So that might be kind of a waste. I'm not sure. There's no powered rails yet or anything. So I'm not sure what else we can do with them. We can do gold blocks. I mean, those look cool. We can just use all the gold we have to make gold blocks and decorate with that. I feel like that's our best bet for the time being, just using it as decoration. But as we go on with the updates, it should get some more uses. Oh boy, we have a skeleton up here. We need to lock in. Alright, we're going to eat up to full. Let's get another piece of food in our inventory. Oh. Oh my gosh, we got the skeleton to kill the creeper. But now we still have the skeleton to deal with. So we're going to try and just strafe left and right. And we got him. Okay, perfect. I think the creeper damaged him a little bit. But yeah, the main strategy is just try and strafe left and right, if you can, to dodge their attacks and get up close to them and quickly kill them. But I do have a little bit of problems with that. Okay, we got a lot of creepers down this corridor. Let's see if we can take them out and stock up some more gunpowder. I think gunpowder really just is for TNT at the moment, which we probably won't need too much of, but it's not bad to stock up on for later on when we might want to use that. So I'm a little bit scared if a mob were to sneak up on us from behind, so I want to have some blocks where we can at least kind of build ourselves in if we get in trouble and give us a chance to reset. I know that's not a... Oh, no. Just like that, actually. That was a very good time for me to say that because we almost died about 2 seconds later and had to use those blocks. So, okay, that was quite scary. Let's regain our bearings here. Take a deep breath. We definitely need one. Oh, our armor is... That's why we were going down so fast. Our armor is in a bad spot. So let's catch our breath here. Let's make a crafting table, smelt up our iron, and get some iron armor going. This leather has served its purpose. It's kept us alive, but I think it is time to move on from that. There we go. We now have full iron armor, and we have an iron sword and pickaxe. We'll hold off on a little bit for the axe and shovel. So we're just going to let the rest of this iron smelt up real quick. We got about 18 more pieces to go, and then we'll finish the rest of this cave, or at least as much as we can with the food that we have left. Then we'll head back to base and drop our stuff off there. Oh, do I see some diamonds? Our first diamonds. Yes, I was really hoping we would find some on our trip down here. And we found some lava as well, which we wanted some. Look at that, zombie dropped a feather. Okay, we got another skeleton though. We really need to be careful around the skeleton and the lava. That could be a deadly combination. We also want to make sure... Oh, and I just wasted a food. That was really unfortunate. But yeah, we also want to make sure no mobs are coming from behind us. We'll put him into the lava. I think the skeleton's down there. Yeah, let's see if we can take him out. Just rush him. Okay, we only got hit once. That's not bad. It's really more of a problem if you're farther away from them. But if we're in close quarters like that, we can take them out pretty safely. Okay, we're going to collect some lava. I'm sure that'll come in handy at some point and won't be too easy for us to get to, so let's make a safe little ledge. I want to make sure we don't fall into this lava. I want to make sure this is totally safe, and I want to make sure our diamonds aren't sitting over top of some lava. We would hate to burn these beautiful diamonds. The best thing we can get in Minecraft Alpha. So let's make sure they're safe. Look at that, our first diamond. That is awesome. Okay, there's just one more. I think that's safe. And boom, 7 diamonds from our first diamond vein. That is awesome. We can make a pickaxe with that. And maybe even a sword too. I think that'll be our first 2 diamond tools. And we still have a couple pieces of food left, so I'm going to keep going with this cave until we run out of food. And we absolutely have to go up to the surface. So maybe we'll see if we can find any more. And if not, it's always good to get some more gold, redstone, iron, all that stuff. So this has been an awesome cave for us so far. It takes forever to mine redstone. I think they must have increased that recently. Because I feel like this is taking longer than diamonds even. Okay, let's be careful around here. We don't have water bucket, so we're going to leave those ores go for now. I want to play it safe. Although I do hear some water this way, so let's dig in this direction and see if we can find another section to the cave over here. And I don't know why we hear a sheep all the way down here at diamond level. That's confusing me a little bit. But who knows. I love the old water. Just the blueness of it is really nice, and just the sound from it. I really miss the old water textures. I think that and the grass are 2 of my favorite things. And the damage noise when your character takes damage, of course. That is just unbeatable right there. Yeah, I'm really realizing right now that we are so deep in this cave, we are never going to be able to come back the same way that we went in. So we're going to have to do the old staircase up eventually. But yeah, we're going to stay for a little bit longer. We still have some food, and I'd love to collect some more iron and coal. So let's keep going. Oh geez, we definitely don't want to mess around with creepers at lava level. If they blow up some of the ground below us, and it could lead right to lava, that would be my worst nightmare. So let's try and deal with this guy ASAP. Got a few more guys on us. Let's see if we can handle them. Okay, we're going to take advantage of that angle and take him out pretty easily. Another creeper, though. Need to be really careful with these guys. Oh my gosh, they're everywhere. Oh my gosh. These guys are going to knock us into the lava. It seems like mobs spawn in big groups in this version. Oh, more diamonds. Let's go. It was all worth it. All worth the big fight. Love to be rewarded for that. But yeah, it seems like mobs are spawning in really big groups, which I kind of like, actually. It's kind of makes it pretty challenging. But yeah, here's some more diamonds. Let's see how many we get here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it just keeps going. 5. It looks like it's going to end every time, and we get another one. 6. Boom. 13 diamonds on our first run. Guys, this is awesome. We're going to make a ton of tools with this. And that's way more than I expected to get. Especially because we can't even see what Y level we're at. There's no cords. It's just hard to tell if we're even in diamond range. But it's really nice to stumble upon them there. Just keep stacking some up. Go further in this cave, guys. Another diamond here. It looks like it might just be one, and more over there. Oh my gosh. We are finding a lot of diamonds right now. This is great. I thought strip mining was going to be one of our best source of diamonds, but after coming in this cave, I think we might have to do some more caving. This has been awesome. Let's see how many more we can get here. This has been a massive cave. I'm honestly really impressed with alpha caves right now. I'm having a lot of fun just in the simple generation of the alpha caves, but really there's a lot of depth to it. I'm having a ton of fun. Of course, finding all these diamonds makes that a lot easier, but either way. And our pickaxe actually broke, so let's make our first diamond pickaxe while we're down here. Why don't we? Here we go. First diamond pickaxe is made. I'm curious to see the durability on that and how long it lasts. But that's very nice to have. And let's head over here. See if we can take on this skeleton. See some lava down there. I'm kind of scared of falling in that while fighting him. This is what we're going to do. We go around this end. Take him out like that. Okay, we lost a couple hearts, but we didn't fall down there. Which is the main thing I wanted to avoid. Got another guy. Okay, he's taking us out pretty good. We need to heal up. See if we can go finish him off now. Wow, we got a lot of skeletons here. Oh my gosh. This is my worst nightmare. Okay, we got him. Lost a lot of hearts there, but we got him. We still have some food left, so not the end of the world. There's a lot of mobs around here. We're in trouble. We are getting very low. My heart is racing right now. I really don't want to die. Way down in this cave with all this loot. Okay, we just run into another close call with some spiders and skeletons. This is getting really dangerous here, and we have a lot of diamonds on us. I think it's about time to head up. There was a lot of mobs I heard over that way. We've already fought off a lot of mobs. I think we're going to head up to base in just a minute here. We'll head along this lava lake with some water, because I remember that used to be a good way to find diamonds, traveling near the lava. So we'll see if we can find any around here before we head back up. And I think we'll just do a staircase going up or something. Just like that. This should be diamond territory because there's lava all around here, so I do want to take a look around this area real quick. Oh yeah, look at that. We got some diamonds over there, right near that lava. And any more? No, I think that's it, but awesome. A few more diamonds before we head up is great. Awesome, we got 8 more there. We're at 25 diamonds from this one cave. Guys, alpha caves are a lot of fun. If you have never tried it out, I definitely recommend giving it a go. Boot up an alpha world and just see how far you can make it. It's been a ton of fun so far. So I'm really excited to see where this series is going to go and how our world will progress and when we get new blocks and everything. This has been really fun so far. Okay, I think this is the point we're going to call it. I don't want to push our luck and get too greedy. So this is the spoil so far, 25 diamonds, a little over 2 stacks of redstone, almost 2 stacks of coal, 16 pieces of gold, and we got our full iron armor, and plus a bunch of extra iron as well. Mob drops, such as gunpowder, we got feathers, string, we got a bunch of good stuff, so I'm excited to get back with all this loot, and let's see if we can make it back safely. So I wanted to start thinking about my goals for the next episode, and I think one thing is getting full diamond armor. We're going to have a lot of tools, but we're still going to need to finish off the full armor set. So I'm going to want to finish that up. I also want to start building my base. We're definitely not going to get our first base done in that episode, or our first proper base, I should say. That won't be done next episode, but I'd at least like to get it started. And I'd also like to get a wheat farm going. That's one of the only things we can farm and going to be one of our main sources of food. So I think that'll be really important to get those 3 things done for the next episode. I think there's still going to be a handful of episodes left in alpha. I still have quite a bit we want to do and a few things to build. So yeah, like I said, I'm not going to rush through it. We'll take our time and make sure we accomplish everything before we move on. But yeah, I'm having a blast with it so far, and I'm excited to see where this is going to go. Okay, so here's one of our problems. We don't have coordinates, and we don't know where we just came up. So that poses a little bit of a problem for us. I hope we didn't venture too far, but I also don't want to get lost. So we're going to mark this point where we came up from the cave and travel back to this if we don't find our base, because I don't want to go too far in one direction and then totally lose our where we are. So yeah, we'll find it. Just might take a few minutes. This cobblestone pillar has really come in handy to help us locate where we're at, because it's really hard to find your base when you don't have coordinates. So yeah, I think we should build a bunch of these kind of in the area of our base. That way we won't really have this problem again. So if you guys decide to play this version of the game, I definitely recommend building stone pillars or some kind of cool looking pillar near your spawn area and your base, just so you don't lose it and you know where to go. Okay guys, I think we finally found our base. We've been wandering around for like 30 minutes and we've been really close to it. But yes, finally. Guys, that was so frustrating trying to find that. We need to make some kind of markers, like some sort of towers above here, so that never happens again. So, yeah, I'm so glad we found it though. We are back with everything from our caving trip. And yeah, that'll be another one of our goals for this version of the game. And probably for next episode, we need to make some sort of tower before the next time we head out to keep ourselves safe. Definitely. So let's go ahead and store everything from our trip. Here's our first set of armor. We don't have the hat and boots. Those broke, but we can kind of keep those as little mementos for the server as well. Since we're planning for this to be a really long-term world, it's good to keep some of those historic pieces. So we'll definitely hang on to that. So I think that'll do it for episode 1, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited to continue this series. So this episode, we were able to get some diamonds. We got a little shelter set up, and we completed a cave and got quite a few resources stocked up in our chest here. And then in episode 2, I think we'll get started on our actual base. We'll get a little farm going, and we'll try and finish off full diamond armor and tools. But yeah, thank you again, guys. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about me and this series, check out the description below, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Have a great day.